Now your time is up in NXT. You go to AEW.
Mm,
A nice little run. You're there
mm.
about a year.
Yeah. Yep.
The buzz that when that whole group, and it was a lot of speculation. Again, it's also COVID. There's injuries. There's a lot of things that um, kind of sort of I feel go south with that. But there was a lot of again moments, but it wasn't what it was, and it was rumblings like everyone wanted to see how, because that group was so prominent in NXT, would it happen in AEW? And I just, for whatever reason, it didn't happen. Do you got a
Yeah.
favorite thing happening in AEW or
Um, I mean, I really, because it was one of the first times in a long time, and especially on national TV, that I can remember having a good lengthy match with a quality opponent. This one was a young opponent, but who just gets it, in my opinion. But Darby Allen, the match I had with him, I think it was one of my last ones with AEW. Um, you know yourself when you talk about things before, you kind of get an idea how things are going to go, and it was a good feeling from the jump. And we went out and yeah, it was give and take, and it was fun, and it was everything wrestling was supposed to be, and it was everything wrestling was for me numerous times formerly, and I really enjoyed it. I had no idea that was kind of my last one there. But that wouldn't have made any difference or whatever. I don't have a moment there as much because like you said, the rumblings. There were, once Kyle came in, it was like, oh shit, we're gonna get Red Dragon in the Bucks, and I still feel like money was left on the table.
yeah, it
From
was.
a tag team standpoint, there was the Bucks, FTR, us, some of these new teams, the Gun, the
Um,
Son of Billy, and blah blah blah. Like you really had a good, interesting mix of tag teams. And it's easy to play armchair quarterback here and book the territory, right? But I was just thinking, okay, we got to do a Crockett Cup type pay per view where it's just all tags. Um, Never happened. That like that sucks. And then for us to, I mean, Matt and Nick, we really never got another match with them. We did some, I think it was a triple threat tag, but yeah, I mean, some of that stuff I have little regrets for, which if they did happen, potentially could have, you know, replaced. But work. Oh, and shit, how could I forget this one? Sting, getting to work with Sting. Are you shitting me?
yeah,
Like 14-year-old me, again, another one of those moments that would have been like, you're out of your friggin' mind. Like when I went to the Altamont Fair, I was 13 years old and they were doing the airbrush shirts. I had his sports or his Wrestling Illustrated cover airbrushed onto a t-shirt. And the year before, I had it done for Brian Bosworth. And then here I am in the AEW locker room after Sting came up and complimented me about my work. Um, we had a conversation where I retold him that story, and then he's talking to me about the interaction between him and Brian Bosworth. Like, whose fucking life is this?
yeah,
Just
dude.
nuts.